Hey everyone, this is Jordan. We're going to be going over the Pulsar LT install on our 2015 GMC Duramax. So first off, the location of the main connector under the hood may be a little bit different on your application, but this video should go over everything you're going to need to know as far as how the connectors and everything work. So when you open the box to your LT, you've got the main Pulsar module, and then directly under that you've got the harness. And depending on what application you have, the harness may be plugged into itself like this. It shouldn't be latched or anything like that. You just disconnect it and then you can continue with the install. So on most of these trucks, the main Pulsar connection is going to be on the driver's side of the motor, right next to the fuse panel. This is going to be our connection right here. So the first thing we're going to do is lift up on this red locking tab. Once that is up, you can push down to free the lever and lift that up. Once that is all the way disengaged, lift that straight up out of the way, and then you can go ahead and install our harness. So the orientation is exactly the same as it is on the stock application. Just push that until it starts to engage, and then you can actually start to move the lever to lock that in place, and then lock the red locking tab back in place. Same thing with the female end of the stock connector. Plug that in the same orientation on ours. Push that till it starts to engage, move the lever all the way down and lock that in place. And then with the box, depending on your application, you may get an extra large zip tie in the bag here. That is going to be used to zip tie the Pulsar harnesses and the stock harnesses together so they don't bounce around too much. Should be just big enough here to wrap all the way around both the connectors. You can either zip tie those straight together right at the back of the harness, just kind of feed that in where the other zip ties go, or you can zip tie it somewhere else, maybe the plastic shroud where the PCM is, or just directly to itself. I'm going to go ahead and zip tie this right to itself here. And that way it's not going to bounce around too much. I might throw one of those other smaller zip ties around the front of it. And then once you get the connector installed, go ahead and plug in the Pulsar. And then the final part of installation is going to go ahead and use the Velcro strips that are supplied with the Pulsar LT. Clean off one side of your fuse box and the underside of the Pulsar LT. Go ahead and attach those two. And there's a few extra zip ties that come with the Pulsar. You can use that to zip tie these out of the way if you need to. This doesn't look like it's touching anything. It's going to get excessively hot or anything like that, so I think we're good.
Okay, and now we're going to show you how to use the quick programming options on your Pulsar LT. Now your dash or steering wheel may look slightly different than what you see here, but the process will be extremely similar. So we're going to go ahead and turn the key to the on position, and we're going to enter into the programming mode. Now we'll be using the cruise control buttons here on the steering wheel to both select which options we're going to adjust and to execute the change itself. So to start the programming menu, we want to press and hold the cruise cancel button here for 5 seconds until the gauges sweep, particularly on the mile per hour. So we'll go ahead and press this button for 5 seconds, and we'll see that speedo go all the way up to 140 and then back down to 0, which indicates we are now in the programming option. Now in this instance, you'll see that we're on the 10 mile per hour mark. Now each increment of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on is a programming options in the Pulsar LT. So how we're going to adjust between the different programming options is using this resume button right here. You'll see it cycle up to 20, 30, 40, and 50, so on. It's the exact process to select which option you want to make your custom changes to. So in this particular vehicle, we have the options of tire pressure monitoring system, tire size, axle ratio, clear DTC, manual regen, and trans relearn. Now, Your settings and your options may vary in your vehicle, so please refer to your quick programming card to make sure you have an accurate list of features you can adjust and the proper instruction to make their changes. So in this vehicle, we're going to tackle one called tire size. So in this instance, that is at the 20 mile per hour mark. So now you've seen that I've selected the speedometer down to 20 mile per hour. I'm going to press the cruise cancel button to select this option to adjust. Now when doing tire size through the Pulsar LT, it's going to ask you for several different numbers. The first of which is the whole number of your tire size. So in this vehicle example, we have stock tires, which are a 32-inch tire. So it's asking for what the stock tire size value is first, the whole number. So that's a 32. We'll press cruise cancel to select that it is a 32. Then it's going to scroll down and ask us for the 10th measurement on the tire size. So this is a 32-inch tall tire, so we'll go ahead and select 0 and press cruise cancel, which will give us the stock tire size value is now entered at 32 inches. Now in the case of a vehicle having modified stock or modified tires, you would now adjust this to the new tire size. So say you got rid of your stock tires and upgraded to a 35-inch tire. Right now you can scroll up to 35, which is the whole number, and press the cruise cancel button, and that will enter in the 35-inch tire. Now if you say your tire size is slightly larger, you measure your tires out and you're at 35.4 inches, now you can use the resume button to go up to 4, which is again that 10th value on your tire size. So if you have a 35.4, we'd enter 35 on the last option and 4 here. So I'll go ahead and press cruise cancel, and now we have just programmed into this vehicle that we have a 35.4 inch tire in our aftermarket or modified tire size. The gauges will sweep, indicating that the programming session is complete. Now, if you want to go in and program any other options in the vehicle, you begin the same process all over again. Press and hold the cruise cancel button for 5 seconds until the gauges sweep. And now you can use the set and resume buttons to scroll into other features. So we'll go ahead and do another example here. We're going to option up to the 40 mile per hour mark, which in this vehicle's example is the clear DTC option. So in this case, when I hit cruise cancel, it goes through and does a full DTC clear on this vehicle. So now all DTCs are cleared. It has gone in and done its changes, and now you're back out of the programming menu. So you can repeat this process for all changes you want to do through your Pulsar LT, and again refer to your quick programming card to make sure that you're selecting the proper options, and it also includes instructions on how to make the proper adjustments. So that should be everything you need. Okay, now that we've shown you how to use the quick programming features, we're going to show you how to adjust your throttle sensitivity levels. Now the Pulsar LT made it extremely simple for you. All you need to do is make sure your key is either in the on position or the vehicle can be running in this example. We are going to make sure that first the cruise control system is off. So this icon right here showing that the cruise control system is on, we need to again make sure that is off in order to make our changes. So now all we need to do to adjust and cycle through the different throttle sensitivity levels is to use the resume and set buttons that we've used in our previous adjustments. So now we can just press the resume button, and that will allow us to cycle up through the different levels. Now your vehicle may have different levels than what we're seeing here in this video, but the process again will be identical. So if you notice here, I'm just pressing the set or resume buttons to cycle through the different levels. So it will be indicated, your power level or your throttle sensitivity level you have selected will be indicated by the speedometer. So right now I'm in the 20 mile per hour mark, which is level 2, 30 mile per hour mark, which is level 3, 40 mile per hour mark, which is level 4, and 50 mile per hour mark is level 5, and so on. This process will be identical as you go through your vehicle and your specific options.